So what type of courage? We talk about different types, right? The intellectual courage, disciplined courage, having the courage to set a plan
Oh, no, I'm
and
horrible at
follow the
that.
plan, even if there's shiny objects or squirrels running around, right? You follow the plan. Moral courage, doing what's right. Social courage, saying what needs to be said when it needs to be said, even if it's unpopular. Empathetic courage. Out of those different types of courage, or maybe one we haven't talked about, what do you think is most important?
Uh, okay. What's most important, I think, philosophically, and what is most important to how I operate are possibly two different things.
Okay.
Let me talk about philosophically, I think moral courage is probably the highest one.
Okay.
There are a ton of reasons why, as a consultant, I have to mold myself to my clients. And sometimes my belief set, and this is my own morals, and I mean morals, I don't mean moral behavior.
Mhm.
My belief set is different than my client's belief set. Unless I'm being absolutely excluded, ostracized, and bullied, I leave a lot of that stuff alone.
Sure.
If it's weird because I'll let myself be that, but if I see someone else, then it's all over. I'm in someone's face. I think that just societally, moral courage is probably the most important one. For me, however, it's intellectual courage. I have had 10-year-olds, 15-year-olds, 20-year-olds, because I work with a lot of 26-ish
Yeah.
people in consulting when they're new to it, say, well, why aren't you doing it this way? And I'll go, why aren't we doing it that way?
Yeah.
And I actually think that not having the college degree makes me do that more often because I'm not questioning myself.
Right.
But I think asking questions is super important.
Sure.
So for what I do for a living, intellectual courage is the most important one.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people don't see that as courageous, but I can tell you because I have the experience too. To have somebody say something, you think you're the expert in this area, you think you know all there is to know, and have somebody else come up with a different idea.
Mm-hmm.
To have the courage to set your beliefs aside and say, well, let's talk about yours. Tell me what you know.
Mm-hmm.
Show me what you do. That can be, because like I said, some people, the significance, the feeling of, hey, I'm special because I have this knowledge. If that's suddenly taken away because somebody else comes up, somebody new with new knowledge, that can be scary.
Right. But it's weird because my significance is actually derived by not knowing and learning.
Yeah.
So that's weird. And so you've alluded a couple of times to this social courage, right? Of just saying what needs to be said. For me, that is maybe lives in both lands of social courage and intellectual courage.
Okay.
Because you cannot abuse that. So there's social courage, saying what needs to be said, and then there's bullying.
Yes.
And then there's bossy, and then there's arrogant, and
right.
Who do you think you are?
Right.
So you have to sort of establish this thing, and social courage is a trust relationship between you and someone else. That's what I think. So so social courage and intellectual courage actually does involve a lot of trust. Yeah. Sometimes you build it quickly and sometimes you need more time.
That's true.